Hey, what's up folks? This is Keith and you're watching Barbour's Auto Help. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace an ignition coil connector on a 2AZ FE Toyota engine. Now this particular engine is sitting in a 2005 Scion TC. However, this engine is used by Toyota on a lot of their vehicles. So this will apply to a lot of vehicles out there. If it looks similar, then it's probably going to match whatever you're working on there. Always verify. As you can see here, this connector just totally disintegrated on me. I went to go disconnect it the other day and it just totally came apart. Also, the other coil connectors, they have the typical locking tab breakage on all of them. So I really need all four, but in today's video, I'm going to be replacing this one. Of course, guys, before you get started, be sure that the engine is off and disconnect your negative battery cable and isolate it from the battery. Be sure the vehicle is in park and that the parking brake is applied. Now here's the new ignition coil connector, and as you can see, it comes with pigtails on it, so you could actually cut this harness right here and splice these wires in. However, I found that if you do that, it doesn't bend quite the same as it used to. So what I like to do is I like to take the wires out of the new connector, remove them, and then put the old wires in the new connector. Typically the problem on these is that the plastic breaks apart. There's really nothing wrong with the pins in there typically, so it would be okay to reuse those pins if you wanted to. Now, of course, you got to depin your new connector, and that's done easily enough just by taking a small screwdriver or pick of some sort. Just go right inside here. You can see that opening there. Just pry up on the white plastic piece. Set that off to the side. Now, inside there, you have little locks. And you take and prying like that on the lock there. Pry on the lock. Now while you're prying on the lock, pull back on the wire. I was pulling back with my left hand here. Just pulled that connector right out. And you do the same thing for the remaining pins. We're just going to totally depin this connector. I'm going to put one of these back in just so you can see how that lock kind of falls back into place there. I don't know if you saw that or not. Now on your old pins there, your pins are going to look similar. You got this little window right there. You don't have that window on this side. The lock goes in the window. When you're taking your old one and you're putting it into the new connector, you have to make sure that that window is oriented so that it matches up with the lock inside the connector. All right, so we're going to take our new connector, the shell of it anyway, and one at a time we're going to take the pins out of the old connector and put it into the new connector. Now you see how this is oriented right here? This was all the way on this side, so we're going to put it into that hole right there. So that would be the correct orientation for it. We're just going to slide it in until it clicks. Give it a tug. She's in there. Set that to the side. And then we're going to go to our next one. Now, this connector on mine is like totally disintegrated. So you would have to, if yours is not disintegrated like mine, you would have to depin your old one just the same way that we depinned our new one. So same method on that. Well, I was going to do one at a time, but it decided to go ahead and disappear. Something helpful for you to do before you actually get to this point, take a picture of the connector before you take it apart and try to get an image of the color of the wires going into the connector there before you actually take it apart. That will help you not to mismatch these pins, because you don't want to get the wrong pin in the wrong hole for sure. There we go. That's all snapped into place. Now we need to take our white locking mechanism and slide that down on it like that, and that will keep those locks from unlocking. This kind of just holds it all into place there. So once that's done, you're golden. You're good to go. Go ahead and reconnect your ignition coil, lock it into place, give it a tug, make sure it's secure. Now, the beautiful thing about doing it this way is by not putting like butt connectors in there and soldering these wires, you maintain all your flexibility and you keep your original position. So it actually unplugs and plugs back in nice and easy, rather than having to battle butt connectors back here. And if you've ever put in a pigtail before, you'll know what I'm talking about. It can be kind of awkward reconnecting that connector. Well, folks, if that was helpful and you enjoyed that, there's more to come. I'm doing a series on this 05 Scion TC and the 2AZ FE Toyota engine. I'll post a link to it down in the description there. Guys, please read the entire description down below this video before you apply any of this knowledge. There may be some things I need to clarify. That's where I do that. Also, please read the disclaimer at the very end of it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great one.